So we're talking all things mockups today. We are all digital product sellers, or print-on-demand sellers, or both. You could possibly have a hybrid. So just drop maybe in the comments, what are you selling? Digital products? Are you selling print-on-demand, or are you selling a hybrid? Because I go through the comments, I always respond a day later, if not on the day. And it's good for me to know what is the group made up of. I could assume here that the majority of us are digital product sellers, when maybe it's a split between print on demand and digital. So just do me a favor, just let me know, digital or print on demand or hybrid, okay? And it's number 5. We are doing 8 weeks. There are, besides this one, there's 3 more left. And I think we should, by the 18th of October, if my math is correct, we should be done with the Artistly series. Why are we talking about Artistly only for the past 8 weeks in total? Because I had a poll up, and a lot of the members in my community on Facebook, they do use Artistly. I use Artistly every day. So a lot of us use Artistly, and for that reason, I thought, let me just zone into parts of the system that we use the most. Mockups, you guys voted for. That's why I'm speaking about it. And each and every topic for the 8 weeks is what you guys voted on all for, right? So it's all things mockup. Thank you for being here, as I've said, and let's jump into it. So if you don't know me, my name is Lucille, and I'm from South Africa. You know how we do it here. Just drop where you're from, or drop your flag. Let everybody know where you're from. I love it. I love enjoying to hear where you guys are all from. So I speak about AI, digital art. I can speak about business in general. I can speak about finance, budgets, tax, how to start, run, grow a business. I can have a full-on business conversation with you. But at the moment, I've sort of pivoted into the AI digital space. So for as long as OpenAI is here and all the opportunities that came post OpenAI, being open to the mainstream market, right? Public, I've just really tapped into it. I was never like, no, I'm not interested. We'll see where this thing goes. I was like, what? I am so there. Yes, please. Tell me more. That was me. And I've just been enjoying the ride. So I don't know where you guys are at with AI. There's still a lot of people that's sort of, no, I don't want anything to do with AI. It's stealing work from actual designers and people who are real designers. And I know that conversation is still happening, but this is me, right? So from South Africa, self-taught, haven't signed up for a course, just sort of went through YouTube. I loved systems before AI. I really always loved software, whether it was a new accounting software or something that could make my life easier. So if I soak myself into software, that I had to figure out how to do things, that's really just been me. It is just like amplified since OpenAI. And I suppose that's why I enjoy this part of it, because it's still software, it's still systems, it's still discovering something that can do something for me, okay? Helped hundreds of businesses, still do in my capacity, previous capacity. I still work for 2 US companies. And yeah, I think the only thing I want to say here, apart from not knowing Photoshop, I've never really worked on it. It's not my thing. I can't speak to you about Photoshop. That does not mean I don't have the capacity or the ability to go learn it. I just don't think it's something that is going to add a particular revenue stream to me now with all the AI capabilities out there. Now I know, and I take no credit away from graphic designers who are qualified. You guys are amazing. I work with a very talented one in one of the businesses that I'm in. So I'm not taking away. I'm just saying, if I could, if I wanted to, I could, but it's just not something that I would want to do now, especially with all the AI capabilities that's available. My dream job was to be a flight attendant. I never had the grade, height, or beauty standards. It didn't happen. So again, this is just there's a lot more people now. People are still coming into the room. So I know the regulars, you hear this every week, but this is really for people who don't know me, just so that they can get a little bit of an idea of what I am about. Okay. So we covered last week how to create thumbnails, or basically like all things social media. So I showed you guys how I used Artistly to create YouTube thumbnails, social media posts, how to set up and schedule in Canva. Because I do and use it a lot in my social media presence, or wherever I am, Facebook, so YouTube, sorry, Instagram, etc. I need content all the time. That's just the nature of the game. There are other ways of doing it, but this, I can only teach you what I know. There's no point in me teaching you something or pretending that I can do something that I can't. I was very transparent with you guys to say that everything that I've amassed, which was about, one of the things was about 27,000 people within 1 year, followers, subscribers on YouTube, my email list that's constantly growing, my Facebook community, that's all organic. Apart from the fact that I didn't understand the advertising game, I also didn't have a budget to spend advertising at the level that my competitors are spending. So there was no budget, and it's just to further cement the fact that everything that I know is primarily organic. I am now self-educating me. I am working and looking and reading and trying to understand the advertising game. I am setting up my pixels. Doreen can tell you. She can tell you all my frustrations this week. I'm learning about pixels. I'm learning about my I think A4, whatever that needs to go into my website, because I need to kind of track what I'm doing. So not an expert, but that's where I am. Everything that you see about my brand is organic. And last week was just like creating social media content. That does not take hours. We can't still be sitting and doing things on a manual level or scope, because your competitors are not doing it manually, right? So that was last week. If you haven't seen it, please go and check out the video. It is available on Facebook and on YouTube. Facebook only 30 days because Mark changed the rules, and now we only have a limited time to show our videos. So please, the robots and the algorithms love your engagement. Just click the heart thumbs up button. It helps to push out the video to more members in the community. And yeah, let's get into mockups. I'm sure you guys are excited to see what's happening today. Okay, so why do mockups matter? Why do mockups matter? Let me know in the comments. You tell me why you think mockups matter. Hello, Inga. Inga's in the house. Tamsin is here. Okay. Nice. Nancy's having a warm weekend in Canada. Jennifer's asking, wondering how this will work for physical products. Example, soap. Nice scenes for a product like bathroom, counter. Yeah, very, very difficult. This session, I don't think, would be able to help you with your physical products outside of Artistly. There's ways to do that in other systems, but I'm not covering that today. Today, it is if you're selling a print on demand or a digital product, which is my lane that I stay in, right? I'm going to show you how you can use Artistly for that. Yeah. But let's tell everybody watch you at local time. Sorry, Susie, the holdup was me, but I'm here now. I'm so glad Vanessa is catching the live. Missy is from Tampa, Florida. Okay, and Joyce wants to do both later. Okay. So why do mockups matter? Your mockup is your means to sell your product. And think about yourself. Think like in my case, if I go to a store and the presentation of the item matters, what makes it more difficult for digital product sellers? You don't have a physical product. So what are you going to do? What is the best next thing that we can do? You don't have you've got a PNG or a JPEG. That's what you've got. You have to put really extra everything into your mockups. And primarily, you have to show whoever's buying your PNG file, seamless pattern, t-shirt design, whatever it is they are buying from you, you have to up your game in presenting your mockups, because your mockup is going to lead to a click on your thumbnail. If your mockup doesn't compete with your competitors, you've wasted your time to even list that product. So mockups matter because it's the means for you to sell, right? If your mockup is of a bad quality, you can put all the advertising budget in it. It will not sell because the presentation is not good enough for your demographic, right? So first impressions, I mean, just this is not rocket science. You can think about yourself. If you go to a store and something, a cake is not presented in a good way, it doesn't look appetizing and it doesn't do anything to my senses. Like, I'm not buying, I'm not interested, right? So you need to really step up where your mockups are concerned. Good previews sell. First impressions give that trust. It's very difficult to try and convince someone when your first product was not up to scratch. That person will never come back to your store again. They might not buy, but if your presentation sticks with them, they might come back and just give you another shot. But if your first impression is bad, you've lost a potential customer, right? So we can look at some examples in a moment. But that's pretty much why mockups matter. If you didn't have to convince someone that you know what your digital product would look like on a cup or a mug or a tumbler or whatever the case may be, then yeah, but we have to go extra to show them, okay, this is what it looks like on a flat lay invitation, or this is what it looks like on a t-shirt or a hoodie or whatever. You have to put the effort in. If you are not doing that, if you are not almost obsessive about your mockups, it could be the reason why people aren't clicking and why you're not selling. And if you're doing the cookie cutter mockups, I'm telling you now, if you are doing cookie cutter mockups, something that I did almost 2 years ago, and so many more before me, right? If you are still doing Canva mockups, I'm telling you, you are shooting yourself in the foot. But let's look at some examples on Etsy, right? Okay, let's go to Etsy. Let me just show you guys. Another thing that you can use Etsy for is mockup inspiration. So you've got Artistly that's going to generate the mockup for you. You can use Etsy. It's free. There's no charge. There's no course. There's no whatever. Use Etsy. Look for best sellers. See what the best sellers are doing and use what you are seeing that is working and recreate something better. Don't try and reinvent the wheel because it's a waste of time and you don't know. It's a gamble. It's a gamble that you're taking with time, right? So this is what's happening. This is absolutely gorgeous. Look here. I'm not going to, let's, oh, this is not a, is it an ad? No, this one's not an ad. Okay, I can click on it because it's not an ad. I'm going to click on this one. Look how, this is the new thing now. This is now the way it's not new. I'm just seeing a lot of this coming up. There's a reason. They've done the research, right? So if you're still doing Canva, you know the one with the brown little paper in a box? I used to use that all the time, that one. If you're still doing this and your competitors are doing what you're seeing in front of you, you're missing out. Yeah. Because the way this is presented, it tells me what the file is like, what am I getting, which is this section over here, the dimensions and the shape of it, so they know, the customer knows this is what I'm getting. This person is already answering, the seller is already answering the buyer. The buyer knows this is the size that I'm getting of my file, or at least the shape. He or she doesn't have to go in the read here beyond this. Why should they? People, who wants to read? Like, who really wants to read long stuff? I don't like reading. I don't like reading if it's not necessary. If I'm studying, it's a different purpose because now my brain's wired for deep like research and stuff. But I don't want to read if it's not necessary. So at least I know I'm getting a custom name mug sublimation design. Why is it custom? Because Sophia's on there. I know. It's PNG, so it's not a physical product, and it's suitable for 11 Oz and 15 Oz. You're killing two birds with one stone. So this seller is going to resize this for both the 15 Oz as well as the 11 Oz. But this person is already answering the shopper before even going into the description over here. I can guarantee you most people don't read this. Most people don't read this stuff. You know why? Because when they get to my inbox, they will tell me, sorry, I didn't read. Most people don't read this. So your job is to make sure that when you present in a way that it answers questions without them having to send you a message or whatever the case may be. So that's cute. If you're into selling mugs, get into this. This is not something Artistly can do for you. This is something ChatGPT can do for you, right? So let's just keep it real in terms of what Artistly can do for you and what's the capabilities of Artistly and what it can't do, right? Let's look at some others. Hey Shakira, no problem. Can you guys see here? Same store, but I've seen others also going this route. And when I started out, mugs was one of my things. I had something similar, it's like with two pegs on the side. I had like two pegs on the side, almost like a washing line. I would hold up the actual design, and I would have the mug. But what I did was I would have three mugs here, three mugs with this design, and the one ear holder of the mug would be left. Then it would be the front of the mug, and then it would be on the other side, on the right, left and right, and in the middle. So I had something similar in the beginning when I started, and it works because you're just answering them up front. So see what's working. This is what I'm talking about, this one. Can you see? Everybody and their mommy had this at one stage, and they are still using this. Everybody had this mockup. I also use this mockup, and that's a Canva mockup, right? Look here. Look how nice this looks. This is what I did when I was selling mugs. Left, right, middle, size over there. You have to, if you're selling digital products, especially if you're a new store, you have to compete on presentation and quality of your design. If you want to compete with someone that has been in business for longer, with a bigger following, with more sales, more visibility on Etsy, higher score, SEO score, etc. If you want to compete as a brand new store, this is the type of things that you need to do. So my point here is stay away from this stuff. You're not allowed to, unless you've got rights. But I don't know who's gonna pay for this Grinch. Can you see here? Can you see here? Same mock-up. Same mock-up. You have to stand out. Okay. So Von Malone is saying, trying to start selling digital products, creating my first product now. Awesome. Tracy Guy saying wanting to do both. I also did both, Tracy. I first digital, and then I was pulled into the POD, and then I set up the whole process. I did the Printify thing, and I set up the whole store. So I know I can connect stores and I can have the conversation. But as soon as I knew or learned everything that I needed to, I soon realized that the focus between digital and print on demand is not the same. The end customer is not the same. And I didn't personally have the capacity to focus on both at the same time. So that was my experience, but I'm sure you will keep us posted with how things are going for you. I just found it too overwhelming. I was also in Amazon, KDP books. I've still got books on there, and I've sold some books, low effort books. But I also soon realized I have to understand this whole game. So even though I could connect the systems and I can do that, and I can go to Canva and create the book and the cover and the bleeding pages and the whole conversation, I soon found out it's a bit too much for me. Richard saying, I recognize that Tumbler. Okay, so before we start designing in Artistly, to all those, you know who you are, to all those AI perfectionists, or those who at least expect the systems to be perfect, this message is for you. AI is not perfect. AI is not perfect. AI is not perfect. AI is not perfect. It's not perfect. Ironically, all these sticks are perfect on this board. AI is not perfect, guys. So just like as we go through this, just hold on to that, right? Let's look at more imperfections. So look at this amazing twinsy of mine with the 3 legs over here. I don't know. I think I've got 24 fingers over here. It still happens. The stuff still happens. I don't know what's going on here with Mustang's legs here, and here I've got 3 arms. Aya's not perfect. Let's just change this culture about like when we can't get something right, particularly on Artistly, because a lot of us use Artistly. Let's just drop this whole thing that it should be right on the first try. I've never ever operated like that, and I suppose that's why I'm not so taken aback if I get a Highlands baby cow with 3 legs. Whatever, because I know the majority of it comes out pretty good. Okay, so let's just keep that in mind. And she's just like walking backwards, yeah, because that makes sense, right? Okay, so we're gonna start designing now. It's just an overview, why mockups, you know, where to get your inspiration from. You can also use Pinterest. Please use Pinterest for inspiration. How people mock up there. And if you see people using it a lot, then it's probably because it works. So get your inspiration, know where to get your inspiration from. So basically the process for tonight is everything, as with almost everything that I teach in this space, it all starts with the prompt. If your prompt is bad, your mockup is going to be bad. If your prompt is mediocre, your mockup is going to be mediocre. We've covered this before. Make sure your prompts are good. If your prompts are good, the rest of this will flow. I've just said AI is not perfect. It still makes mistakes. I still find Artistly not understanding certain words. We all speak English, right? The guys who developed Artistly, the first language is not English. So for them, a mug is different for someone else sitting on the other side of wherever, of the equator. What they describe a mug, what they describe as a tumbler, the person who, the brainchild behind Artistly, or the team, their English is not your English. This is the reality. So the interpretation of systems, not just Artistly, it depends on who created the system. And therefore, sometimes when you ask for a tumbler, for example, we had this exercise in the group. When we have a story with the 20-hour tumbler, skinny tumbler, the person who designed the mock-up, whatever, didn't get that a skinny tumbler is not whatever they think it is, at least in our line of business. So just keep those things in mind. The process is easy as far as I'm concerned. Get the prompt. Make sure you've got a good prompt. Decide on your design or your logo. What is it that you want to do? Do you want to design a branding kit for your business with a logo? Make sure that you know what you want to add to the mock-up. Or is it an image that you want to slap onto whatever it is that you're busy with? You then go to Artistly, AI Design Assistant, and you go to Mockup Creator. Now, there are lots of different product mockups and people holding mockups and all sorts of mockups. I'm just using the Mockup Creator for a few reasons. I'll explain to you now when we're in the system. Generate variations, right? Don't just do one and done. If that's what you're signing up for, you in the wrong WhatsApp group. It's not a once and done situation. Okay? Do variations and then choose the best out of the lot. Listen, we've got 400 credits or limits or whatever generations a day. So we're not short on credits. Try using 400 or 250 with Kittle in 1 month. We're not short on credits. Once you've done your variations, AI makes mistakes. ChatGPT in all its glory. When I do mockups in ChatGPT, here's my dog, here's my cup, merge the two, give me a mockup. Guess what? The dog's face is deformed. It happens. The image of the baby is not looking like the image that I supplied. Then I have to go back. Please look at this image. This is not what I gave you. Please do not change my dog's face. Keep it as I presented it to you. Then my second one and my third one and my fourth one come out better. So that is what I do. I don't know what how you guys deal with it, but AI is not perfect. Do your variations, do your quality checks, make sure that the dog's face is right. Make sure that it's looking exactly as it is. Be very careful for those selling print on demand. The rules are slightly different. That's why I said earlier, when I was looking into it, I could see they make it sound on YouTube. Now, if you can do digital products, you can also do print on demand. It's like the same thing. No, it's not the same thing. my messaging, the way I speak on social media for a print-on-demand customer who's going to buy from me, it's not the same message that I'm going to speak to someone that's into creating digital planners with the clip art that I'm selling, right? It's not the same. You have to use precision, almost psychology, to understand what this person needs. And I covered this in one of the sections where I broke up in this 8-part. I broke up print on demand sorry, it was seamless patterns. I made an example with textile and with people that sells digital patterns like the cute kawaii, whatever. That person doesn't speak the same language like the person in fabrics and textiles. So it's the same with print on demand. Okay. Once you've done your variations, check, make sure the dog space is good. And if you're happy, and then you list it on Etsy. Is everything clear there? Is there any questions on this process? We're going to go into Artistly now. Okay, let me go to Artistly. Okay, do you have some messages in the Zoom? Yeah. Okay, Von. Well done, Von. Sorry, Von, is it he or she? Sold 23 books on KDP so far. Okay, let's go to Artistly. And I obviously played around. You'll see here I've done some testing just to make sure that we are good for today's webinar. What you'll do is you will go to AI Design Assistant. Okay. This is the process. AI Design Assistant. If you don't know anything about Artistly, $49 once off. If you've never heard about Artistly, it's $49 once off. With limitations, you never pay again. I cannot tell you what is included and what's not included because there's just so much going on with this system, right? If you don't want any limitations and there's no further tiers beyond this one, it's $147. So you'll pay the difference of about, I don't know, 97, I don't know, just do the math. That would be the highest tier. And again, there's no monthly payments. Okay, so you go to AI Design Assistant here, which is where we're at actually. And then remember I said earlier, there's a couple of mockups. You've got product holding, you've got mockup creator, which is where I play, and you've got this product photos. Okay, I only use this one. The reason I don't use these two is because if I'm not mistaken, they only generate one at a time. At least this one only generates one at a time. This one gives me 4. And one at a time doesn't work with my brain. So this is where I'm at. So click on Mockup Creative. You can either choose an image that you've designed off Artistly. It doesn't have to be an Artistly image. So let's say you've generated something in Canva or wherever, and you need to bring that image in. You click on Browse and you select your image. I'm just going to stay in my library. And then if you are a good girl or boy, you probably would have folders. I am not. But I'm going to start using them. And then let's say you want to go to Halloween, for example. You want to use this image for your mockup. The system will load it. And below that, you will get your quantity of 4 and your aspect ratio. So whatever it is that you are going for here, I'm just going to leave it on the defaulted 1 by 1. Now, this section, the text box, the prompt text box is where it's at, right? You can, in my experience with this, the simpler prompt works better. For this part of the system, the simpler the prompt, the better the outcome. The more complicated the prompt, a prompt that I would maybe use in ChatGPT because I think it's got a capacity. It's a large language model, so it's got the capacity to have large language conversations, and I can have a deeper prompt there. You can't do that here. Let's just be honest with this. You can't put that type of complex prompt in this system. Can you see everywhere you look at on Artistly? Look at this. This is their indication. Do you know what that is? That is to tell you this is how you need to quote. This is how they've trained their system to do the mockup. Roughly speaking, this is it. That's why I can tell you guys from my fiddling and playing and creating my own store's mockup, the simpler the prompt, the better the outcome. I can't do these types of prompts in this. This will not work in Artistly or work in ChatGPT and some other systems. My experience. If you differ, let me know. Let's check. So we've chose our image. Let's go. Yeah. So we chose our image, and let's say we want to do a mug, right? Create a mock-up. Their system's not built for that complexity in terms of mock-ups. I'm not talking about other sides of the system, but always look at the link here. That's what it needs to be. I don't know. I don't even know what, if it's 15 Oz. I'm trying to remember. I had an issue with, when I asked for ceramic mug, it's got a lid on. So let's see. I create a mock-up of a white ceramic 15 Oz mug on a placed on a desk next to a, let's just say iPad, right? So can you see I keep the same space? I'm going to try and use one of these complex ones now. Okay. Go back to Assistant, go back to Mockup Creator. Let's get our image to this cute doggy. It's almost like the system loses itself with all this extra detail that you're putting in the prompt. They're giving you an indication. Okay. Sometimes Artistly removes the background, which I actually like in some cases. And sometimes it does not do that. Okay. So I think this came out very, very well with the removal of the background. You can't really sell something like this on Etsy. This wrap must be all around. So I can maybe try and change the prompt. And this was the more complicated one. Okay, let's read that one. Yeah, you see, there's a lot of things that are asked here. A computer rendering a square frame centered plain white background. Yeah, mark centered and fully in frame realist. See, yes, yeah, it's this prompt is purely for just the mug. But if I've seen if it's more complicated, the system can't catch it. This was sort of, it's longer, but basically it's just a white mug and with the image on. There's no extras at the back. But in my experience, go simpler because they're telling us to go simpler. They're giving us an indication to go simpler. So I've just prepared some framed art. Let's go framed art, wall decor. Okay. I would just stay. And then some also says you need to start with the prompt to say add this logo or add this image. I don't see that as like a fix or a solution. As long as you keep it simple for the AI. It gets that language, wall art, decor, straightforward, it will apply. The moment you get too complicated with angles and all sorts of other stuff, it runs away. It like just drops. Okay, let's see what it does with a ebook. And why I want to speak about this topic is, as I've mentioned earlier, if you're selling on Etsy, it's important that your designs stands out. It needs to stand out. That's part of ticking off a whole checklist, your SEO keywords, your title, your description, your attributes, your mock-up is like there. Your photo images, your shots. And there was a time when Etsy actually even told us, you are not being discovered because the lightning of your mock-up is too dull. And then there was a time where they wanted us to focus on more lighter backgrounds. It changes all the time. And again, with Artistly, why would I want this? Because it's such a time saver. It's even quicker than doing it with Canva, which I'm not going to go over today. Okay. But it's quicker than going to Canva and having to drop your files. It's all in your system. And another thing I want to mention is, in order to, again, stand out, try and experiment with different types of mock-ups, right? Everybody's doing the mugs. Everybody's doing the T-shirts. Everyone's doing the notebooks. If you use Printify, which is what I use, and if you go to catalogs, right? They start out with, just go catalogs. They start out with this page, and it's an endless list of mock-ups. We don't just all have to do invitation cards or all the same things. There's mouse pads, there's baby accessories, onesies, there's baby blankets, towels, etc. So this is a nice, for me, this is a nice resource to have to get inspiration. Printify is like there in terms of POD, right? So they are everywhere. They are a lot of Etsy print on demand sellers use them to connect, whatever the case may be. So when they have this library, you can tap into it and just create more unique mock-ups. Okay, so let's go to towels. Let's see what we can get with towels. You get beach towel, golf towel, hand towel. What type of towel do you want? Youth hooded towel, boho beach cloth. So there's a lot that you can draw from. Like, and there's also Printiful is another one, and there's so many others, right? But I can only talk about the ones that I've used. So let's go back to, we've got our image. Create a mock-up image of a beach towel. Image is taken at the beach on beach sand. Okay, generate. Be very careful when you sell print on demand. Your first image must be an image of the actual product of what it is. With digital products, it is very different. We can put it on a mock-up because there will never be a physical product, right? There will never be a physical product. But when you sell print on demand, because you're selling a physical product, that is what you need to, that's what your main mock-up needs to be, okay? Again, go and understand the rules about POD. It's different to digital products. So that's what it looks like. I like that. Let's go back. Let's say create a birthday invitation card that is held by a beautiful baby boy with an indigo jeans and white t-shirt on. Okay. Are you guys using Artistly for mockups? Let me know. Is it something that you guys are using, or is it something that you guys would consider using? She, Von is a she. Woo! Thank you, Von. I'll never forget. Richard saying buy the full version. So, Richard, it depends on how the system, I think, interprets the prompt. Richard's asking, with mugs, do you have to have a full wraparound, not just a single image? No, no, I would think that if I give that to ChatGPT, I say, this is the image one square, make it a wraparound. Let's test wraparound for this white ceramic mug. What did I just see now? Why is it like a coloring page? This is the first time this has happened to me. Isn't it cute? See, oh, Tracy's saying she's still learning artistly, but she will definitely be using this. It's the quickest way I find to make the most unique mock-ups. My people in Facebook, how are you? Um, let's try. Create, create a 15 Oz white, 15 Oz mock-up image with the baby cow picture, but make the mug wrapped fully without white parts. Now it's probably going to cover the handle as well. Vaughn is asking, so when doing mockups on this platform, are you using the same towel from Printify? Because towels may not look the same. Exactly that. So Vaughn, when you're selling digital products, you can use this as a mockup. I'm just selling digital products. When you are selling print on demand and you use this as your mockup image, and it is not the physical product size, feel, texture, whatever you said in your description, this towel is going to be, right? You will get into trouble. That is why as far as I know, your first image, your thumbnail must be an actual image of what it is that you are selling, especially with those Gildan 3000 or whatever, those t-shirts. If you're selling a particular brand number, whatever, and you are using ChatGPT for print on demand, I'm saying ChatGPT for a white t-shirt, it's just like whatever, no specification in terms of what, and you are going to sell it as a physical product. You can't do what I'm showing you now. And it was allowed back in the day, but I think because of people complaining about the service or the process, you need to use the actual image for print on demand. For digital products, you can do this, what I'm showing you now, because they're not getting the towel. Yeah, I think, Richard, that would be still a prompt. This is what we were struggling with, I think, for the whole week. A lot of us, and we've also mentioned this in the Artistry group, this, and then the handle, and it's just not making sense. But let's see what else. I like Printify because I get so much inspiration. If I go, let's go home decor. Let's see what's under home decor, right? And you, Richard saying, don't mention wraps. Home decor. So garden and house banner, plastic yard sign. It's not things that I would normally think about. Mockups. So let's go with. Okay. Let's go with plastic yard sign. Let's see what Artistly comes up with. I haven't really done a yard sign, but I'm just saying create a mock-up image of a yard sign position on a grass backdrop. So I don't know if Artistly is going to understand like the yard sign, because that's not something I would normally do for a mock-up. Another one I want to test is, especially in the wedding niche, which is very, very lucrative if you do invitations or anything weddings. Welcome board that is placed outside of the wedding venue. Make the backdrop boho themed. You might have noticed, guys, that I'm not talking about the tumblers. Another thing that came up this week was the 20 Oz tumblers, which is second guess for me selling on Etsy. So I do clip art mostly, and then tumblers is my second revenue stream. And we tried this whole week with tumblers, 20 Oz tumbler, and it came up with all sorts of variations, coffee mugs and funny looking tumblers and tumblers with a coffee cap on, and it's just not getting it. It's really just not getting it. So it's just think of it as the English. What English went into the system. It's like reverse psychology. You now need to understand how they thought when they build it, and you have to like try to get, okay, that's the sweet spot. My experience, right? That's not bad. That's beautiful actually. So if this was a picture of the husband and the wife, then that would have been a perfect welcome sign. Okay. Cool. So I think is there any other questions about how to mockups? Inspiration you get from Printify. Printiful is another place, and there's more. Place it is like a massive in mockup. So if you're low or dry on mockup inspiration and you don't want to do the stock standard mug and the whatever, then go to places like Printify to help you out with exactly that. Let's see. Okay. Create a mock-up image of a wall clock hanging on a wall in a kitchen. You're welcome, Von. And now it's got all the numbers wrong. Oh, right. Yeah, right, actually. This is beautiful. Look here. Look at that. So if you're low on inspiration, that's my pro tip. Go to Printify. Let's go to our slides. Let's move on. I want to show you, you must have seen me not or picked up, I'm not speaking tumblers. I have an issue with tumblers. I'm not getting, I think it's the English, right? Or maybe when they build mockups, no one told them that for a Etsy product seller, mockups for tumblers or the selling of tumbler designs is a lot. So I don't think they get it. But to everybody who tried with the prompt this week, thank you so much for your effort. I'll show you how I used to do it. This is what I used to do with my Tumbler mockups before I could use systems like My Design or Placeit or wherever else, right? So I used to buy a mockup from Etsy, one of the sellers, and then I would design. So this would be my design. And then I would just drop it into the mockup, and then I would export, and then I would list it on Etsy. Nothing wrong with the system. If you are new, if you were anything like me, I had to count the cost. I was not making money. So I couldn't expense software tools. I had to go this way. There's nothing wrong with this way. You can go to Etsy. Let me show you. $20 Oz Tumbler wrap mockup. Okay. This is humble beginnings, how I used to do this. So you can buy it, $1.26. This is a rotating one, I think. Yeah, rotating one is included. You buy it, you import it to your Canva. You don't need a pro Canva for this. You bring it in, and then you drop it all over. Drop your images into the Canva template as they show you on the video. And that's it. I am using software now that is per month. But if you're not there yet and you don't want to, and you shouldn't really until you make money, then you start upgrading. But that's it. So I couldn't do the mockups with you guys today with Artistly. So I just wanted to show you another way if you are selling tumblers, and you're not dealing with Artistly. Okay, so I've already mentioned Artistly is $49 commercial license, and then the premium is $147. Mockups is one of the things that the system does. We're talking 8 weeks Artistly. We've gone through seamless patterns. We've gone through clip art. We've gone through social media posts that Artistly can do for you. The plan is worth it. I can create clip art, which is coloring pages, junk journals. There's a whole lot that I can do with it. If you are interested, just drop the word Artistly. We'll connect with you and send you the link. And then if you think you're going to enjoy using this, let me know. If it's something like I've already asked, like, let me know. I think, yeah, Tracy said she's already started using it. Guys, do you have any questions? You're very quiet this week. Any questions about mockups? Oh, Nancy saying, I didn't even know you could create mockups in Artistly, but I will now. That's wonderful to hear. You guys are. Rochelle, yes, I saw you came in late, but I'm so glad you're here. Okay, and the replay will be there. Yeah. Nancy saying, I asked this question in the Artistly group, but don't think I got an answer. What's the point of creating folders when 1 year your creations are deleted? So that is, I won't say that's really my reason. I'm just like, when I'm done with an image, I'm done. Once I'm done with the image on Artistly or wherever else, I'm not one of those people that's gonna save and have all these drives for images. No, like hard drives or whatever, local drives. All my files that I sell will sit on a cloud, and I can get it there. That is why I never use the folders. But now, added to that, about a month ago, we saw that red banner on all our Etsy, all our Artistly accounts, and they said like 365 days, so 1 year, you've got to make use of your images. And I don't have an answer for you, Nancy. Basically, I don't have an answer for you. I don't know why would you want to use folders. The reason I'm using folders now, and it's not for saving, it's actually for quick access, so that I can get to the Halloween designs and I can get to the Mother's Day stuff quicker than having to scroll down 300. But it's definitely not to sort of keep it until someone. No, I also don't like the way to access the images. I don't like the fact that I must click every time to go. Why can't I just scroll continuously? Scroll. So because the effort of having to find a design that I did last week, because there's no search bar, right? There's no like black cat, and it will bring all of, there's none of that either. So just the user interface at the moment of having to scroll through, it's like a shortcut for me at the moment, but I don't save. If it's on my cloud, that's where it is. I can help a client there. Tamsin's asking, can we not send pictures and sizes of a Tumbler to the dev team for them to include it? We actually raised this point. Doreen, did we raise this point this week? Yes, did we? Yes, yes. I did post it. No one answered. No one answered about the Tumblers. I didn't get a response. So I don't know. Maybe if more of you guys can go to the Artistly group and just say, we need this to work, maybe they will look at it, because that's normally how they look at it if there's a lot more people. But I did make a post. I included Yash. And I know they were busy with the other products that I don't know much about either. The voice cloning software. I know I've been busy, so I can understand that the attention and focus was there with the launch of the new product. So next is asking about store audits. Not really something that I do at the moment, because yeah, I don't know. It's not something that I'm doing at the moment. If I don't know if more of you ask, again, different story. And not a lot of people have asked me. Some have asked me, but I kind of said the same thing. It's not really something that I'm doing. No. So there's not a lot of people that's asking me for it. Rochelle saying AI is better than me. I don't know what that means. She's also not impressed with ChatGPT. That's the thing, you know, like we've all got our biases. We've all got our biases with systems, right? And you just need to work what works for you. I'm not in the business to try and convince people that Artistly is working. I'm just saying this is what it does for me. And I like it. I'm not the most patient person either, right? So we all have our biases with system. I have my bias when I do Tumbler designs. I go to Kittle. I used to go to Kittle. I've now discovered other systems that's for me even better than Kittle. But for a long time, if someone asked me, what is your system, software of choice for Tumblers? Kittle, undoubtedly. So we all have our biases, and it's okay. It's okay. Susie's asking, Lucille, are you going to do a demonstration of creating the mockups? Did I answer you with the presentation? That was 47 minutes ago. Hassan, you are very late. You are very late. Okay, I'm glad you're here though. Thanks for joining. You all know 2 programs if you're interested. AI Prompt Haven, $9 a month. Prompts dropped for you weekly. Community where I support if there's questions. I drop SEO keywords. I drop mockup inspirations to say, hey, look what I did with ChatGPT. Hey, this is whatever. So it's off Facebook. But that's for the paid members, right? I just drop AI prompts and I show you in the Facebook group. These are the ones, and it's going to go to the vault. If you're a member, just go and check it out. The bootcamp, if you are brand new to the digital product, to digital products, right? And you don't know where to start. Lucille, I don't know how to design. I don't know how does all of this work. Start from scratch. And that's a good place to start, because I started from -0. And there's nothing wrong. Don't feel like you can't, whatever. If you're inquisitive and you've got a resilience in you and you've got that, if you decide to do something and you're not going to give up, it requires a little bit of that. I go through 10 products with you in the Digital Product Bootcamp. The feedback is amazing, really wonderful feedback. And it's a once-off fee, $49, and self-paced, so you can watch the 10 videos on how I create, I think, bookmarks and clip art and junk journals, coloring pages. What else? All 10 products is there. I show you, go through the steps. I go through different systems, not just Artistly. I show you how to mock up. I also give you 10 mockups for each and every of those products, so you don't have to go and create the mockups. There's custom GPTs in that course. There links to all sorts of things. So by the time you're done with that course, you are in a good position to know how to list on Etsy, how to find products that's in demand with both free methods as well as SEO keyword research tools. I go through the whole 360. I didn't plan on designing that course. The group came to me and said, Lucille, we love the YouTube videos and we love what you're doing, and thank you for sharing your information. But everything was just all over the place. The group came to me and said, can we get something that's a bit more structured, A to Z? And that is how that system was came about. It's growing weekly. That bootcamp is growing weekly, and the reviews are in the group. And if you really don't know where to start, that's a place to start. Okay. And then lastly, you guys have seen me posting my AI twinsy, my AI double. So this is happening. It's weird. If I think of the digital product bootcamp, that was also people coming to me and saying, we need this, right? Because I was just like giving free. You guys know how I do. I give all the information free. So they asked me to structure it. That's how the bootcamp came about. This is, people have been slowly asking me, Lucille, how do you grow a community? So now I'm tuning in. Lucille, I want to do what you do, but for this industry. I want to do with this, but I want to single moms. Lucille, so it's not clip art. It's not Etsy specific. It's more like, how do you get people to get into your ecosystem, your email list, your YouTube, sorry, Instagram, Facebook. How do you do all of that? So this is, I'm busy cooking, right? I'm busy cooking. My son likes using that terminology. I'm busy cooking and busy building this. So if you are think beyond clip art and Etsy, whatever. If you like what I'm doing and you want to know my processes and how I do, and there's processes for all of it, this is where it's going to happen, right? A lot of you have signed up just to like for more information. So thank you so much. The list is growing, and I'm planning to drop this in November. So it will be like on the school platform, and just the classes will be there. Lives we'll have some lives happening there. Prompts will be dropped there, supporting you guys, and it's really about using your AI double so that you don't have to do these photo shoots and you don't have to do all this traveling and whatever, and use your double to pull people into whatever it is you are talking about, an expert about, and have knowledge about, right? So use your twin to do all of that. It's magical. It's also addictive. So I'm warning you before the time. There's days when I'm sitting, I'm just creating also, and it's fun. It's so much fun. So if you see me posting and asking questions, this is what's coming. Any questions? Richard says he needs a mouse clone. Richard, I can't help you there. Madeline says, yeah, she uses Nano Banana. You can use different ones. Okay. I think that's my story. Is there anything on the mockups questions that you guys need? Okay. Vaughn is asking, my concern is, what is the best platform to sell digital products? Beacons, Payhipstand, and or the rest, yeah? So Vaughn, are you not selling on Etsy? And if you're not selling, why? What is the reason? I know there's geographical reasons, but I'd just like to understand. Tracy is saying, love both. She learns so much. She's referring to the monthly membership as well as the digital product bootcamp, right? Melissa's asking, what about prompts? Should you use ChatGPT if you're not good at writing prompts? Now, you might have seen Richard dropping some what's the word? Cryptic codes of what's happening in version 2 of the members tool stack, right? Melissa, I started the vault with just prompts. Little did I know, I'm now going to put systems and tools together to help beyond a prompt copying and pasting, right? So now you've got the first 6, the coloring page, was it the Pattern Genie Pro, whatever. So those tools are to help you with the prompts, right? In addition to the prompts that I provide. And then we're busy with version 2, which will happen, the reveal will happen after I'm done with the 8. So we've still got 3 of Artistly left. Once I'm done, maybe 1 week break, and then we'll do a reveal on version 2. I'm not going to say what's cooking, but just watch in the group for some signs. And I'm really excited. I'm so excited for version 2, the products that we are busy with. Let's see. Okay, looking for other options. So Etsy first. I would say Etsy first because you've got the traffic. So it removes me having to get traffic, right? If you're in Etsy, don't get stuck there. You definitely, as soon as you possibly can, get a second backup. Get a Payheap or whatever. I'm using Payheap, but it really depends on what your preference is. See what the systems offer. I looked at it all. I love Payheap because Payheap only charges me when a customer buys. I can't pay subscriptions for tools that I don't know if customers are going to buy. And it's very intuitive. It's easy to set up. It's in the digital product bootcamp. I go through a Payheap setup process, how to list whatever. And I cover those who are Etsy sellers and non-Etsy sellers because not everybody can get Etsy stores. Okay. Rochelle says Zazzle is free. I've never looked at Zazzle. But there are options. It's just the accountant in me. When I with money, I don't like giving away money. So I always look at the most cost-effective way to do things because cost can get out of control so quickly. You know, we sign up, not knowing what we're signing up for. And then none of that systems brings me a return. So that's just the accountant in me speaking. So next week, we're talking Tumbler rep marathon. I'm going to show you. You saw those Tumbler reps that I posted yesterday and the day before. I'm going to show you. It will be a lot less talking. I'm going to show you live with Artistly how I quickly design so many Tumbler reps. I'm going to try and keep it to the hour. So I'm not going to talk a lot. And then I'm going to mock them. I'll show you the tool that I use to mock it up. But that's going to happen next week. So I'll show you my prompts, how I design it in Artistly, and then the mock-up process, and how with the click of buttons, the whole thing just flows. Okay, so that's going to happen next week. So if you could just start sending the links out, register, so that's one that you don't want to miss. Just FYI before the time, I'm not doing the mock-ups in Artistly because it's not at the moment currently supporting for the purpose that I needed. Okay, that is the end of my story. If you are still here, thank you so much for watching all the way through. I hope, and drop for me in the comment section, let me know if this has helped you. Did I teach you something that you didn't know, or you're going to fiddle around with it? But I hope it's been something of value to you, that you didn't waste your time watching this video. But yeah, there are still some limitations. Cleopatra, what are you writing there? There are some limitations with Artistly, so, and I'm transparent about it. I'm not gonna make it sound like all things are hunky-dory. When there's limitations, I speak about it. And if I have a problem, I go to the development team. Do not think for a moment, I don't have issues with Kittle, I told you guys before, or Ideogram. Or when they do an update at Ideogram, the whole thing falls apart. My text is wrong, whatever. They hear from me. So don't think because I'm an affiliate of Artistly, it's just everything is hunky-dory. No. Yash also is now in the habit of calling. I know they're busy with this other products that they were rolling. He's now in the business of calling. He will phone. He will ask. So there are limitations with Artistly. Is it perfect? Absolutely not. Neither is Kittle, neither is ChatGPT. Each system has its nuances, and you need to work within that, right? So let me see. Oh, Rochelle saying, I've been with Zazzle for about 10 years. Good pocket money. Thank you for sharing. I need to look at that. Wow. And traffic, Rochelle? Is it there, traffic? You're welcome, Tracy. You're welcome, Vaughn. Thank you so much. Nice to have you on. I think there's a delay with you on Facebook. But if I don't get you here live, then I will answer you afterwards. Oh, thanks, Vanessa. Vanessa saying, I can't wait for your school community. Yeah, we're cooking there. We're cooking there. Oh, okay, Rochelle's doing her own marketing as well. So each platform you need to understand, right? So, guys, I think I don't have any questions. If I missed, Krina MV is saying, thank you for this community. Long live everyone. I claim that. Signing off for now. Truly empowering and inspirational. Thank you, Lucille. Thank you so much. She must be gone now. Okay. Okay, Nancy saying makes sense. I don't know. I'm trying the iPad this week, but I think the messages are delayed. I'll go back to my phone next week for Facebook Live. Thank you so much, guys. I will upload this video tomorrow on YouTube, and Please, if you've got any questions, just drop it for me in the comment section. Doreen, thank you so much for being my wingman this week. She's dropped all the links for us. So if you need to go back, then just grab the links. And yeah, I appreciate your help. So until next week, thank you guys.